Hello, hello. Thanks for tuning into this video. The topic for today is if you find yourself in a place surrounded by mountains, climb. The reason that this topic is on my heart is because, for one, if you look around, I am currently in a place surrounded by mountains, both literally and figuratively. And it's important for me to convey to my audience that I don't just speak based on things that I have not experienced. I speak based on where I am, based on what I'm currently experiencing, and based on the tools that I've used to pull myself out of depression and all manner of negative states of mind. And now I can say, though I'm still surrounded by mountains, I'm not afraid to climb. The mountains that you see in your life, they don't have to be literal, although they can be. And if you are in a place surrounded by mountains, I implore you, please go on a hike. The energy that you feel at the top of the mountain, there are very few things in the world that compares to it. The mountains in your life could be a series of obstacles that seem far too large for you to break through. It could be walls that have been erected by perceptions that you have of the actions of people in your life. These mountains could be emotional barriers that you have towards expressing your true and honest self. These mountains could be ideas that have been implanted in you that you've held as true about yourself from an early age, both from words, family, friends, from experiences that you didn't fully understand. Could be teachers, a offhanded remark that to your young mind took root and is now manifesting as a barrier that you have towards some type of connection. The point is that the mountains that you see around you could be a number of variables, and only you going inside, spending time in the silence, can decipher what your mountains mean in your life. What I want you to understand is that the mountains that were erected were not erected for you to stare at. Although you may have been in a place where you've been looking at them for a while, wondering how in the hell you're going to overcome. How can you surpass? I want you to know that these mountains are there simply because you have the unique ability to climb them. You have been equipped with all the skills necessary to make the journey successful. I'm not saying that the journey is going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're going to get a quarter of the way up and your legs are going to feel tired and you're going to stop, take a break, maybe walk it back down and call it another day to come out and get a little further. I'm not saying it's going to be a one and done. What I'm saying is that you can overcome. And understanding, embracing living in that thought that you can overcome whatever mountains you see surrounding you. That state of mind creates a reality where you overcome the mountains that surround you. If you watch enough of my videos, you'll see a recurring theme here. And the recurring theme is what I most want to impress upon your mind. And that theme is that your state of mind, your awareness of being, creates your reality. So if you're aware of being surrounded by obstacles, guess what? You can move across the country. You can get a whole new social group. You can leave your family, never speak, ever, and still find yourself surrounded by obstacles because that's your state of mind. But if you find yourself in the state of mind of an overcomer, it doesn't matter what obstacle there is, you are an overcomer. An obstacle is just that, regardless of the importance that you place on it or the magnitude that you place on it. That doesn't matter. If you're in the state of an overcomer, if there's something to be overcome, guess what? The overcomer will overcome. When you find yourself in a place surrounded by mountains, climb. One thing that you'll notice if you've ever gone on any type of a hike is that, for one, there's all different types of terrain. There's all different types of trails. Where I am, it's considered a desert. So you'll see a lot of sand. You may see some green mixed in. There are some hikes in woodland areas. There's paved trails, dirt trails, all types of different trails. I've hiked lots of different trails. And one thing remains the same. You must keep putting one foot in front of the other if you were ever going to reach the top. It does not matter if that is a small choppy step. It does not matter if it's an awkward sideways step as you're holding on to something around you, just trying to catch your breath. It does not matter if it's you jogging, running up that hill. As long as you are putting one foot in front of the other, by law, you will make it up the mountain. You will make it up the mountain. I understand that there are some mountains that are a little more challenging. Some mountains where it's not just putting one foot in front of the other, where you need to climb over rocks and pull yourself up using your arms, legs, ropes. But there's levels to this shit. And the basic of all basic levels is simply this. Can you put one foot in front of the other? Can you take one step and follow that up with another step and follow that up with another step? And maybe you need to pause for a sec, but then can you follow that up with another step and follow that up with another step? Now, these steps are representative of whatever action that you need to take on the path towards your ideal reality, your ideal creation, right? These steps represent whatever is needed for you to overcome whatever challenge lies before you. And only you know. We all know what actions we need to take regularly in order to make something happen. We all know. And if you don't know, the information is available to you. I promise. Someone out there has the information about where it is that you're trying to go. Or if not, they have information about what direction it is that you can step towards. And as long as you step in that direction with the understanding that unseen forces will meet you part of the way, I guarantee you the answers will present themselves to you. No matter how dark the path may look, your light illuminates it. I'm not speaking to you as someone who's seen mountains and climbed every mountain before me. I'm speaking to you as someone who's seen mountains and had the fear of God in me. Had the fear that there was no way I'd ever overcome. Had a fear that if I even took a step, people would look at me and tell me about how wrong I am. And I'm not saying that that didn't happen as I took steps, because in some cases it did. But if every time that that happened, I stopped taking steps, there are situations, there are places, there are spaces that I would have just been stuck in. I wouldn't be here right now. There'd be some cement block with my name on it, one of my names on it. I'd be rotting somewhere, perhaps 6 feet underground, maybe a little shallower, maybe a little deeper. I'm speaking to you as someone who's gained just the right amount of courage to stand up when it was necessary and to take steps forward, regardless of how steep the edge seemed, regardless of all that lied before me, regardless of how people thought of me, regardless of the pain that I felt. And if I can understand that this life presence within me exists within you, and that the nature of this life presence is to overcome obstacles in whatever way necessary, meaning if this life presence finds itself in the ocean, then it develops mechanisms in order to survive and to thrive within that environment. If this life presence finds itself on the air, on the land, then it devises mechanisms in order to survive and thrive on the land. If this life presence finds itself in the air, then it devises mechanisms to survive and to thrive in that environment. If this life presence finds itself out in space, then it devises mechanisms to survive and thrive in that environment. No matter where this life presence finds itself, it recognizes what it is. Your experience, your personality may have shaded over the fact that this life presence is what you truly are. This love is what you truly are. And all I want to do is remind you of how much of an overcomer you can be if you choose to accept that you are. Now, I love you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, wherever you've been, if nobody else has told you today, I'm telling you now, you are loved, you are appreciated, and you are needed. I just want to see the fullest expression of you. This is The Spark.